Howdy folks, my name is Alex, otherwise known as For the Z, and welcome to episode 74 of the Turner's Digest. As always, we'll start with a disclaimer. I'm not a financial or tax advisor. This is not financial or tax advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, but please enjoy. Welcome to episode 74 of Turner's Digest. I'm your host, Fear the Z, otherwise known as Alex. I'll start with the housekeeping. Stop using filler words. Good reminder as always. Podcast aggregator app. Thanks. Blake Choo Choo on Discord. If you don't know where to listen to this, I don't know how you found me, but I'm on all podcasting platforms. If you want to support me, there's Patreon, patreon.com/Turner's Digest. Starts off as little as $1. You can use your free balance waiver over there. And it goes up to the Cleed tier. Speaking of, shout out to Kung Fuer, Cleed, Dion, Erica, Shu Hui, Rob, Desi, Stan, and Jeff for their contributions to the Cleed tier. Appreciate you as always. Shout out to my brother's band, Heavy Lemon. Their intro music. The intro music can be found in the show notes, as well as they have a website now, heavylemon.net. If you want to see some shows that they're doing coming up. They have a festival coming up on September 5th. Let me see if they have information about this on their site. Yep, September 5th, the Great Hudson Valley Hard Rock Fest in Wappinger Falls, New York. Tickets are available. September 5th is a Saturday. I'll personally be there. If you're interested, you can let me know, and we can enjoy my brother's band together. All right, for today, we got cards. Then we got bank account bonuses and brokerage bonuses, some deals, some class actions, and some other. Kind of light this time, which honestly my throat could use it, so let's get into it. All right, first off, over in Amex World, there's an update to the American Express Platinum card. Update was from July 9th, saying some people like to get Apple TV or other add-on bundled with their Peacock subscription, but effective August 1st, add-ons will not be eligible for the card. Some people reported that even though it says this, it might work. I know that for some accounts or some promotions, this isn't an opportunity. Like, they explicitly call this out and it still triggers. So I'm curious to see if that's true for this one too. Checking the comments, I don't see anybody reporting just yet. And there's a good reminder that Walmart Plus, which comes with the American Express Platinum, also gives you either Peacock or Paramount Plus for free. So there's that for what it's worth. Next, American Express Old Blue Cash card to be discontinued, converted to Blue Cash every day. This card's been lingering around for a while. It had some benefits like spending a certain amount in a certain category and then getting extra. Let me see what this was really for. It earned 5% in supermarkets, gas stations, and drugstores, and 1% on all other purchases, but only after you've spent $6,500 in spend. But before the card earns 1% on gas station, drugstores, supermarkets, and 0.5% on all other spend. It does not have an annual fee, and it makes it one of the most powerful cards for manufacturer spending. And that card's no longer available, which has been true for a while, and now it's being product changed to the Blue Cash every day. So, rip to a real one. Next, there's some super elevated business American Express cards that are out there right now. So the American Express Platinum is showing an availability of 300,000 points when you spend $20,000 in 3 months, which is a bit too rich for my blood, but it's pretty much as high as I've ever seen that card go. And additionally, the Gold is also receiving an increased offer. It's 200,000 points when you spend $15,000 in the first 3 months. And this one, I guess, is not too rich for my blood because I decided to go for it. You'll see here I tried to apply for a few other cards before this one and got denied, so I figured I want to have something to go for anyway, because we'll talk about here too. I've reached my spend requirement on all my other cards, so on to the next one. The American Express Gold comes with some not so useful credits. It does come with like $20 per month on Grubhub or FedEx. I'm curious if that works for purchases at USPS. I don't think so. It's just office supply stores. I do make purchases at USPS pretty frequently, but if it's FedEx, Grubhub, and office supply stores, I don't know where I'll use that. It does come with Walmart Plus, so maybe I'll give a relative Walmart Plus now. And it earns 4x points on 2 categories and your ability to spend most on in a particular cycle, up to $150,000 in combined purchases every calendar year, and it includes transit purchases, wireless telephone services, restaurants, advertising, gas stations, and hardware, software, and cloud computing stores, and 3x in MX travel, as well as it offers a $300 credit for ChatGPT, and I think $150 for Squarespace. So some of those are pretty niche, but could be useful to some. I'll probably give a relative Walmart Plus, and I think my brother pays for ChatGPT, so I'll just give him the credit. Next, American Express removes a green card from the website, and I think they also are fully decommissioning the card. Dr. Credit says American Express has removed the American Express green card from its website, and its current link leads to an error page. In June, it was announced that existing cardholders will have their card named to the Classic Green Card on August 20th. It possibly indicates a newer, updated version of the American Express Green Card could be launched with new benefits and earning rates. Kind of a nothing burger, but I guess we'll see what happens next month. Next, my American Express Marriott business card bonus posted. So that was spend $8,000 in the first, I think, 6 months for that card and get 150,000 points towards Marriott as well as $125 statement credit. So I met that spend requirement. I did have to track that one kind of annoyingly because I did put some spend towards a U.S. bank account bonus or U.S. Bank initial funding, but American Express no longer considers those as spend, and it's excluded from your spend requirement. So I had to spend some more, but I was able to meet that, especially with some travel coming up here. It wasn't too bad, and it was spend $8K in 6 months for $150K, $125, and we'll see if I'm able to do the $200K for my American Express Gold. I am kind of fearful, but if anyone has any interesting ventures for meeting a sign-up bonus for or minimum spend requirement for an American Express business card, please let your boy know. And then additionally, I applied for the American Express Marriott Brilliant Personal Card, but got the pop-up saying I'm not eligible for the sign-up bonus, so I didn't go for that one. I think we talked about that last episode, but there's some elevated sign-up bonuses for that card as well. Next, there's a targeted referral for Capital One business cards for get $2,000 or 100,000 bonus points. Reddit user Mushu Pork, definitely heard of them before, was getting an offer to refer a business to the rebranded Capital One Venture Business $95 card or the Spark Business 2% or $95 card, and the referrer gets 100,000 bonus points, limited to 500,000 bonus points per year. The member gets the regular sign-up bonus offer. Another user is reporting that it's a $2,000 bonus for the referrer. There are various other offers as well, and you might get a 1099 form for these referrals. These are really crazy amounts of bonuses. Like 100,000 bonus points is $1,000, and $2,000 bonus, obviously $2,000. So that's pretty great. I haven't seen these floating around, but those are some pretty lucrative offers. Next, the Capital One Spark Cash and Spark Cash Plus sign-up bonuses are $1,000 and $2,000, respectively, plus $250 and $500 in travel credit. The Spark Cash Business is $95 annual fee, waive the first year. Sign-up bonus $1,000 plus $250 of travel credit after spending $10,000 the first 3 months. Capital One Spark Cash Business Card, $150 fee, is offering sign-up bonus $2,000 when you spend $500 in travel credit after spending $30,000 the first 3 months. Also earn an additional $2,000 every $500,000 spent in the first year. Both these are pretty great. I actually went and applied for the Spark Business, and they pulled TransUnion and Equifax because they froze my Experian and was denied. My reasons were, based on your application information, the owner of this legal entity type has too many new credit card accounts. And based on your credit report from one or more of the agencies on the back of this letter, there are too many recently opened credit cards, which are both very true. Classic Capital One being pretty stingy. That's why I stuck with American Express, because they don't pull, and I know that'll prove me. Thank you very much. Next, Capital One Venture is adding $100 travel credit benefit. People are getting notices from the Capital One Venture card at $95 annual fee about a new $100 annual credit for hotel and vacation rentals booked through the Capital One travel portal. I'm not sure if this benefit is added to all cards or is in the process of being added. I don't see it mentioned on the public landing page yet. Let us know if you see anything differently. Curious to see if this is biannual. It says your credit will be renewed each year on your card anniversary date with no enrollment needed. It will be ready within 72 hours of receiving the specials, and it can be viewed and applied at checkout. Interesting. So it's kind of like the coupon that is with the Venture X, where you'll see it within the portal before you buy. Very cool. I like it when they do it this way. I don't love the American Express way of charging the card, and then eventually you get a statement credit, and if you don't, you probably forgot about it, and then you'll never get it unless you reach out. Next, onto the Pays saga. Pays finally started posting, and everything seemed to mostly come out by early July, and that was true for me. All of mine have posted now. Everything that I had shared from last episode, if you're interested, go check out last episode, have posted. And I'm still doing my Dunkin' credits. So Dunkin' still has Pays for gift cards, and I can just do a $10 load. I can only do it probably once every 24 hours, once every 48 hours. And I still have a few cards left that haven't met the max on that. I am still waiting for some credits for my unlimited cash. It's funny, I just said I was done waiting. But these are new purchases that take a little bit to come through. But it's still working fine for me, so I'll continue to do that. Additionally, I was doing my classic Dunkin' $10 load, and I was flagged for suspicious activity for 24 hours, but then never saw anything of it, so I don't think that that's really an issue. But keep that in mind. If you're seeing some issues, just try again after some time. And then, hat tip to listener Ray. They shared an interesting read on the Wall Street Journal titled, "Banks Want Technophobes and Late Adopters to Use Digital Wallets. It Isn't Easy." This was all about Pays and the founder, talking about Pays and their upbringing. It's an interesting read. I wouldn't necessarily say you got to read the whole thing, but there was one quote that I thought was interesting that says, Pays says Pays says its June promotional campaign has beaten its forecast. That's a promotion for spend $10 10 times and get $10 each. Activations nearly doubled in the 4 weeks after the June 15th launch, compared with the 4 weeks before. It said it is way too early to know how many people keep using the wallet after the credits run out. That's the big key here. You can throw money at people, and obviously they're going to use the platform, but we'll see how long people will continue to use it. I know a lot of people have called out that it's annoying that every time you want to check out, you have to, even with pass keys, you have to put in a two-factor authentication for text messages, which is annoying. It's not the worst thing in the world. My phone auto fills it out, but it is kind of annoying. And then finally, there's a user by the name of Neonitrex1, who shared a Pays tracker, paystracker.com, where you can find local merchants on specifically Clover, because Clover accepts Pays, where you can check out with Pays and get some money off of your orders. So nice little tracker there if you're interested. Next, over in Chase land, this is technically under Chase because they own the card now, but there's a $300 targeted Apple Card sign-on bonus. A pretty great bonus. I know when I did this, it was, I think, like 75, but it credited 3 times for me, and they still haven't taken it back. So, sure, it's nice to have the card eventually, but whatever. Next, Chase freedom to lose cell phone protection on September 20th, 2026. It was interesting this card even had cell phone protection as a free annual fee card, but it's being removed, which I'm sure some people were sad to see. Dodge Credit does have a link to other cards that offer other credit cards that offer cell phone protection, which include PenFed Credit Union, GreenFi, CUTX, which is a credit union of Texas. These are all available nationwide. First Service Credit Union, Hughes FCU, and then a bunch of other smaller regional banks. So nice to know. Next, Chase Amazon Prime Visa card is giving a spend $75 or more in bill pay categories and get $15 back. Specifically, you should have received an email about this that says something along the lines of Amazon Prime Visa for... it says subject unknown. I think I received this email. Let me see if I can find it, though. The subject for me says, get $15 back for paying your bills. Take a look for that. You do have to activate it, and it's good through October 15th. It's good for one-time use. Use it on utilities or looks like even insurance or fitness clubs, local transit, utilities, insurance, phone cable, internet services, fitness clubs, and gym memberships. Pretty broad, not bad. Nice little $15. And while talking about this Chase Amazon Visa Prime card, some users, specifically Joe Actuary on Discord, is reporting that the Chase Amazon card is actually not curbing the 524. So previously, you were able to apply for a Chase Amazon Prime Visa card and be able to bypass the 524 rule where Chase wasn't applying that. But some users are reporting it. So Joe actually reported that. So keep that in mind that you might not be approved, and it seems like a case-by-case basis. Next, Dr. Credit put a pretty interesting post on what does Chase consider a lifetime? As in, when are you available for another bonus? Now, there's Chase pop-up jails, and people are curious as to what Chase calls a lifetime. Here's some data points that Dr. Credit lists, including 7 years working, 10 years working, 4 to 5 years later. Chase Sapphire Preferred from 2014, so that's like 10 years. Chase Freedom Visa, 2016. Chase Sapphire Reserve in 2016. Product change custom Chase Sapphire Reserve to second Freedom Visa in November 2025. So there's a bunch of data points here. And if you're interested, you can take a look here and see which one you fall under and see if you're eligible for a bonus. Next, Chase Sapphire lounges are removing Priority Pass access and increasing layover time allowance. So this is sad for me to see, but Dr. Credit sharing that the Chase Sapphire lounges are removing access to Priority Pass. Previously, you were able to get into a Chase Sapphire lounge once per year on Priority Pass, and I think I always knew for some reason that was short term. I don't know if they specifically said that or if I just assumed that. I assumed, at the very least, it was an assumption that this was a short-term thing to try and get people to just come into the lounges and get them acclimated to them. Be like, hey, look how good our lounges are. And then after people go there a few times, you revoke the Priority Pass access, and then your increase for credit card bonus, credit card signups will go up because people want to access it when they can no longer do that through Priority Pass. Pretty sad for me to hear because I think I have 4 Priority Pass cards, and I was able to go to this lounge 4 times in a year. But it's only when I personally go and when I don't have a guest, because it's pretty expensive to go there exclusively and pay for yourself. Now it's a $100 entry fee for Priority Pass members. And previously members received 1 annual complimentary visit and then discounted access at $75. And I read somewhere else that you're no longer able to get in without Priority Pass, and you can't pay to just enter the club. You have to have Priority Pass to be able to get a discounted rate. But you're still able to bring, if you have Chase Sapphire Reserve, you can bring yourself and I think up to 2 guests into the Chase Sapphire lounges. And I talked about this previously, I don't know about on here, but in my order of lounges go Chase Sapphire lounges and then Chase Sapphire lounges and then Capital One landings, and then a tie between Capital One lounges and American Express Centurion lounges, and then 50 feet of poop, and then regular Priority Pass lounges. So this is really sad for me to see, especially someone who is in Boston, and I often go to Logan International Airport, BOS. I would love to go to the Chase Sapphire Lounge. I would try to go there whenever I could. I used all 4 of my lounge accesses this year, and this is good until goes into August 15th. So keep that in mind and try to use it if you can. Use it or lose it, right? And one thing to note that a user called out in the comments, that the Ritz and other premium Chase cards will be able to keep their access, but Chase Sapphire Lounge accesses do not. And this was specifically reported by NerdWallet, where they said, if you carry a Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business, JP Morgan Reserve, or the Ritz-Carlton card, you keep unlimited complimentary access to the Chase lounges. You'll also continue to have Priority Pass access. Basically, nothing changes. So keep that in mind. Nice little benefit for other Chase card holders. Next, onto U.S. Bank land. U.S. Bank allows network changes. So user Eccentric Int J shared that they were able to product change their Altitude Connect business card from a Visa card to a MasterCard. Apparently, you can product change a MasterCard version of the Triple Cash card. I stumbled upon this while I was product changing my Altitude Connect business card. Apparently, you can network change the Triple Cash card. Apparently you can product change to a MasterCard version of the Triple Cash card from the Visa Altitude Connect card. Sorry about that. Which has MasterCard benefits like Instacart promo, Lyft promos, and the $2.50 off of transit, as well as the $100 software credit that the card has. So if I know that there was regulation that required banks to offer different networks, so it could be interesting to utilize this. And I think the same thing goes for Bank of America cards. You can go for customized cash. You can do Visa or MasterCard. I know some of their cards. I don't think the Premium Rewards Elite card offers a MasterCard variant as well as the Premium Rewards card. Next, U.S. Bank converting Kroger credit cards to Smartly cards. So U.S. Bank stopped accepting applications for the Kroger card back in May, and they announced that the card will be transitioned to become the Smartly 2% card. Balance card limits and rewards will transfer over to Smartly. It's funny that they're sending you over to Smartly because that card was notoriously nerfed, and now you're stuck in nerf territory with this card. I just like the card design. I don't know if I have that yet on my card collection, so definitely send that in. And I know that some readers have sent me some, but I haven't had time. I'm traveling this week. I traveled last week, and then I'm going to France in 2 weeks. So I'll try to get it done before then, but definitely keep an eye out. The cards will be up there eventually. Next, I posted my data point on what triggers the Bank of America Premium Rewards $100 travel credit. So people were reporting that the American Airlines gift cards weren't working, but they did work for me. For my Premium Rewards Elite card, I bought 3 $100 American Airlines gift cards on June 23rd. And then on July 10th, which was longer than I normally expected, the meter moved and I received the credit a few days later. So very good to see that I can continue to rack up American Airlines gift cards. And that one I specifically did because I had a travel coming up with American Airlines, and I booked a different flight specifically to go on American so I can use the gift card. So I'm very glad that it worked. Next, Rakuten adds Bank of America cards to the portal. Again, customized cash is at $200 and the travel rewards is at $275. Probably stop posting updates unless we see an all-time high or an increased base offer at any of them. Still a really good card if you need a card to open up and you have not gone for this yet. It really adds great value to the already existing sign-up bonuses. Next, there's a pretty great offer from Bank of America to go into the app and ask Erica, their chat, for closing an account. And when you ask for that, it'll offer you it'll go through the steps until you see an offer that says offer, or it says submit. Submit will close the card. And at that point, you'll see an offer for $175 retention offer when you spend $1,500 in 3 months. I went through and did this for all my cards. I didn't see anything. All of my cards said you have to call to close this account, but some people are saying that they're able to see an offer in app. So definitely worth taking a look. Just go into the app, chat with the little Erica agent, and say, I'd like to close my card. It'll bring you through the flow, and you might see an offer. Next, user Achzit44 said, seeing a banner on the City Strata Premier, limited time offer enjoyed $75 off of your next hotel booking of $400 or more with the City travel site and book by August 7th. So could be a good stack with $100 off of $500, and there's a screenshot provided here. I don't think Dr. Credit shared this, but definitely take a look if you have that card and see if you have a little extra bonus you can get for your travel. I know sometimes booking a refundable hotel through the portal, allowing the credit to post to your account and then canceling can sometimes keep it on the account, but I'm not sure how good City is with that type of thing. They might claw it back. Next, City files for a trademark for City Clear Cash. The filing specifically mentions credit card services and processing rewards. The timing is interesting as this is shortly after the City Custom Cash card was discontinued. It looks like City has a City Clear card in Hong Kong that offers 2% cash rebate on online spending in foreign currency and 0.4% back on other spending. I'm not familiar with that market at all, so no idea if that is competitive. I expect any U.S. issued cards to be significantly better than that. Hopefully we can get some leaks if any City people are in the comments. Please email Will discreetly. Interesting. The card looks like the normal circles from City with a little clear in the middle, so nothing bigger. Next, City refreshes the American Airlines executive card with a $695 fee up from $595 and new benefits. In terms of new things, the fee went up $100. There is a $500 credit for American Airlines vacation package, semi-annual $250 credit January through June, and another July through December, which is new. There's new Omni Hotels benefit, which is Omni Hotels Champion status and Omni Hotels free night credit when you must stay the first 2 nights. Avish President Club status, which is the same. $10 monthly Grubhub credit has been removed. Loyalty bonus points after spending thresholds. 10,000 points after spending 50,000, which is the same. 10,000 after spending 90,000, which is the same. And then 10,000 after spending 165,000, which is new. And 10,000 after spending 240,000, which is new. This is a very big theme that I'm seeing with credit cards, where companies are trying to go for that super high end market where people are spending hundreds of $1,000s of their card, and they're just trying to get as much spend on their card as they possibly can. There's a $15 Lyft credit after you complete 3 Lyft rides that month, which was $10. MasterCard Legend was a MasterCard Elite. MasterCard Legend is the absolute highest MasterCard that's offered. It's like the Visa Infinite card. MasterCard Legend is their variant of that. American Airlines 25% in-flight discount replaces the $100 in-flight and Admirals Club credit. That sounds like a big downgrade for me. And the card earns 12x on eligible hotels and car rentals booked through American Airlines, which was 10x, 4x on American Airlines purchases, and 1x on all other purchases. Doesn't seem like that great of an increase. Vacation credit would have been more interesting because it was a flat $500, but two $250 credits are extremely hard to get value from. Agreed. Sometimes you can book like around June and try and get them to only charge partially and then charge the rest of your card in the second half of the year to try and get both, but it's annoying. So not much good there. Next, we are over in Wells Fargo land, where the Wells Fargo Autograph Journey Card Premier and Private Bank versions have a $100,000 point bonus and additional benefits. According to FM, some people have been getting approved without Premier status. So that's kind of the update there. You don't have to have Premier status to get this. It's 100,000 points instead of 60K. And the Premier comes in black, gold, but the private banking comes with some other card art, metal like the regular autograph. Visa Infinite benefits includes auto-enhanced auto insurance up in the United States of up to 31 days versus 15 days of the Journey Visa signature, $120 global credit entry, and trip delay protection, extended warranty protection, and purchase security protection. Next, there was a change to the Robinhood Platinum card. They announced some new... Today it went live for invited users, and they've modified a number of card benefits with full updated review can be found below from Dr. Credit. All right, so I'm just going to read the new benefits, and I'm going to say what differences changed. So for authorized users, they're free with no perks or $395 with full perks. And there's a new option to pay for authorized users perks, which was an option before. The annual fee does not change. It's still at $695. DoorDash benefit is $120 credit, $10 per month with no minimum order required and free Dash Pass. Decreased total, but removed the $50 order threshold, which is very nice. Honestly, $50 minimum order is kind of crazy. I'd much rather have lower and not have to spend as much. Restaurant dining credit. It's at $250 credit, $20 per month, $30 in January at 15,000 participating restaurants. And the peak credit month shifted from December to January, which is kind of weird. Next, hotel credit is $700 credit, which is $250 statement credit every 6 months, and $100 property credit per stay, requires 2-night stay. Added $200 value, because originally it was only $500, but now requires a 2-night stay minimum at premium properties. That really stinks. Also, it's weird that they include that $100 property credit per stay when most other cards like the American Express Platinum or the Chase Sapphire cards, specifically the Reserve, has this benefit but doesn't consider it a additional value. The flights and travel credit, the $300 flight credit is $150 every 6 months for direct airlines or Robinhood travel purchases flight bookings. The scope was changed. It's now restricted to flights, no longer covers general travel or rideshare expenses. Also sad to see. Next, the autonomous rideshare credit is explicitly for Waymos only, a $250 credit at $20 per month at $30 in December, which was previously just said autonomous rides. And I mean, what other competitors are compared to Waymo? So that kind of didn't really change much. Next, health and wearables credit has a $239 Whoop credit per year, which is just through December of 2027. So it's just for this year and next. And 8 Sleep coupon code up to $1,000 off through September 15th of this year. They replaced Aura with Whoop credits and added a temporary 8 sleep discount code. I think Aura probably would have been better if it's every year. So, weird choice by them. Cashback and hotel and rentals. Previously it was 10% on hotels via Robinhood Portal, and now it's 10% on hotels and rental cars. Cashback for dining, flight, and others were 5% on dining, 5% on flights on the portal, 1% on everything else. There's no change there. And the free memberships include Robinhood Gold, Function Health at $365, Amazon One Medical, $195, Whoop at $329, Party Pass, and DoorDash. They removed Aura and replaced it with Whoop, and Dash Pass is now included. So overall, there's a bunch of changes. Dr. Credit says they significantly changed most of the card for how it was originally announced. Some impressions. I can see this card being used for someone who pays for some of the memberships already. Example, someone who anyway pays for Function and Robinhood Gold can save $425. And Function was Function Health, which was $365 value. A temporary 8 sleep deal maybe has some value for someone who plans on buying an 8 sleep system already. And beyond the free memberships, $350 flight credit seems useful, but again, the credit is flights only. Some will find the value in hotel credits, but it's not worth nearly $700. The DoorDash, TSA, and Waymo credits are the most marginal kind of benefits, which can be useful but only help marginally to justify the annual fee. 5% rate on dining is interesting. It's the best cashback dining card out there. Even counting points cards, the 5% rivals the 4X on the Amex Gold and the 3X on the Chase Sapphire Preferred Reserve. And the dining credit might be interesting. It ends up working at most restaurants. They haven't said where it's working. It just says over 15,000. You might get credits without any thought, even though you'll anyway be using the card for restaurants at 5% rate. Super interesting to see, and it is platinum plated, which is also interesting. It must be the thinnest one atom of platinum, because platinum is pretty expensive. But again, if you get this card, I'd love to hear about it and get that nice card image. Next, the PenFed has announced the PenFed Defender Visa, and the waitlist is open. The card has no annual fee, 5x at gas and EV charging stations, 3x at grocery, restaurants, sporting goods, military commissaries, and base exchange. And this was shared by Miles Ernebergs. Had tip to them, but they said before you get too excited, sorry, noisy car drove by. Before you get too excited, PenFed is really good with gas pumps versus gas store coating, and their points are worth about 0.8 to 0.9 cents each. So not exactly 5x on gas and EV charging. And they can tell when you don't buy at the pump. So keep that in mind. Dr. Credit also shared this, and they share about the same thing. So it's really only valued at 4.15% on gas and 2.49% on groceries and dining, and 0.83% everywhere else. Also worth noting that the gas station category is limited to pump-only transactions. Right now, there isn't not a sign-on bonus, and we aren't sure what the annual fee is either. And also, the cash out of 0.83% is for gift cards, not cash. Next, conventionally PlayStation credit card adds PlayStation Plus Premium with $6,000 in spend. That's crazy how high you need to spend in order to get PlayStation Premium for free, which I don't even think is worth that much. And Dr. Credit says, don't think the change makes the card worth it, but maybe there are some edge use cases. I guess so. I don't know where it would ever be useful, but sure. Previously, I think it was 50% back when you spend $3,000 more, and now it's fully for free when you spend $6,000 more. Next, Venmo to make changes to the Stash loyalty program. The changes are, we're updating the way that it's working. You will no longer be able to select a merchant bundle in the bundle cashback program, and you will be able to earn cashback from more Stash brands. You no longer need to select a merchant brand in the bundle cashback program, and you will be able to earn cashback from more Stash brands. We're changing the way you can earn cashback with Venmo Stash. Earn 2% cashback when you spend $250 in a month on qualifying purchases with Venmo checkout or your Venmo debit card. Earn 5% cash back when you spend $1,500 in month on qualifying purchases with Venmo checkout or your Venmo card. You'll continue to be able to earn a maximum of $100 per month in cashback rewards. Previously, you could choose one bundle, and the rate you could earn would be as follows. Choose one of the bundles and earn up to 5% cash back. an example of the bundle was McDonald's, TikTok, Uber, and Uber Eats. 1% back in base rate, 2% back when you turn on auto overloads, and 5% if they receive a direct deposit. So they're making it a little bit simpler. I'm curious to see what the 5% cashback will be for. I guess it's just everything when you have monthly qualifying purchases. I'm not sure what the qualifying purchases is. Kind of weird change. It's going into effect August 24th. Next, you probably saw this news, but Barclays and Samsung announced a Samsung Galaxy Card, which is pretty much directly in rival to the Apple Cash, to the Apple Card. And this card earns a $200 sign-up bonus when you spend $2,000 in 90 days, and it earns 5% cash back on eligible purchases made directly with Samsung, 3% cash back on purchases made with Samsung Wallet, which is really interesting, 2% cash back on streaming services, 1% on all other purchases, and 20% off of Samsung VIP Advantage, plus 5% cash back when purchasing or renewing Samsung VIP Advantage membership. There's no annual fee, which I'm not totally sure about that, and it's a metal card. It's really interesting that it's earning 3% back on Samsung Wallet. Samsung Wallet is available on all Android devices as well as their watches. So as long as you have an Android device, you can check out with Samsung Wallet. And 3% is pretty great for all-around cash back. It's pretty much top of the category, and it's uncapped. So we'll see how long that lasts before you get shut down. This is with Barclays. I'm not too familiar with how they are with shutdowns, but definitely keep that in mind. And that little tidbit about not having to have a Samsung phone with just an Android phone is from user correct combination 11. All right, over to our credit card sign-up bonus of the month. If you're personal and under 524, the Chase Sapphire Preferred via referral is still at 100K points, but the Apple Card is good for either over or under. I'm not really sure if they applied by Chase Sapphire rules, but also the Bank of America Customized Cash or Travel Reward via Rakuten to get the extra 200 or 150 for signing up there is a pretty great bonus. As well as for business, I'd say the Amex Business Platinum or Business Gold or the Capital One Spark Cash or Spark. All right, next for banking up bonuses, the Chase $900 checking saving bonus is back. Definitely check episode 48 if you want a full deep dive on that. There's also a bonus for Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maine, New England, New Jersey, New York, Rhode Island, or Vermont for the Webster Bank $300 checking and $300 savings bonus, or $900 for both. This requires you to, the checking is for direct deposit $500 or more within 90 days, and the savings is for deposit $15,000 within 15 days and hold it for 90 days. And then if you do both, you get an extra $300. It's $300 for each, an extra $300 if you do both. Pretty great offer. Next, for brokerage bonuses, Tasty Trade is offering a 3% transfer bonus up to $3,000 for a 36-month hold. And it's only for new platform users. Dr. Credit says 3% match for 3 years is a solid deal. Throw 100K makes it less exciting for some people who like doing large balance transfers. This deal is no comparison to the old 4% match deal, but this one is never coming back, and overall this is a solid deal. I once got Tasty Works bonus and won't be eligible for this one. I also prefer deals that aren't dragged out over many years. It also may be possible to somehow stack with $100 Tasty referral bonus. Something to go for if you have some nice bonus funds lying around. Next, Costco's offering $100 in-kind gift cards for $65 again. I'm still finding great value out of in-kind. I haven't been eating out too much recently because I have, but haven't been able to plan my going out as often because I've just been busy. So I haven't been using in-kind very frequently, but I do often like to buy from Costco to get it for 35% off. And I recently just said I wasn't sure why I have in-kind pass or whatever it's called, but it came from the Perks at Work coupon. So that gave you a one-time coupon as well as a year of in-kind pass, which gives you $50 off when you spend $150. But reminder, you can't use that in combination with your gift card balance. You can only use either the $50 coupon or your gift card balance. Next is a great offer on Google Fi that you're able to find via some links in the Play Store where you can get 75% off any unlimited plan for 12 months. And that brings it down to Unlimited Essentials plan for $875 a month, the Unlimited Standard plan for $1250 a month, or the Unlimited Premium plan for $1625 a month. I've used Fi in the past. It's pretty great, especially at this price. It beats me using Mint Mobile and getting 6 gigs per month, that's for sure. Next, in the deals category, the American Express Platinum Card has some offers for Walmart.com. Either some people are seeing $20 off when you spend $60, $15 off when you spend $50, or 75% off when you spend up to $100. I personally got the 25% off, and I purchased Airbnb gift cards just because there's always Airbnb expenses coming up, and I can use 25% off of it, so why not? And then also there was the odd lot payout. So back in July, there was an opportunity for OPTU stock ticker where you could buy 99 shares and then opt into the odd lot provision where they would buy back your shares at $2.50. The shares were going for about $1, and I did the math because the odd lot provision paid out successfully, and I bought 99 shares at, well, I sold 99 shares at $2.50, which deemed $247.50. There was a $30 transaction fee that Merrill charged me, which they wouldn't waive, which is annoying. But I bought 99 shares at $1.05, so $103.95 of unit cost, and the total profit was $113.55, or 103% gains. Sorry, 109% gains. So it honestly didn't take too much effort. It's my first time ever doing this, and now that I've done it, I'll definitely do it again if I ever hear of it. It's super easy. I mean, you got to call your brokerage to execute the odd lot provision, and it takes some time for the funds to finally arrive, but hey, it's not bad. You don't have to pay capital gains tax, but not the worst thing in the world. Next, a bunch of class actions were paid out. So I had a pretty big one, definitely my largest class action ever. This is for college financial aid for a $300 million class action settlement. And this was for a congregation of colleges that were alleged for conspirating to limit the amount of financial aid received and thereby artificially inflate prices of student aid, or artificially inflate prices student paid to attend schools. And this included a school that I went to, the University of Notre Dame, and I recently received a payout for a whopping $1,981. Definitely the most I've ever received. It's normally to the order of $20, which Beyond Meat also paid out for $22.26. And I'm very grateful to be in a position where I got out of college mostly debt-free, and I just was very grateful for my parents providing me the opportunity to go to college and not leave with a lot of debt, so I just gave that money back to them. And it felt very nice. So I can attribute my obsessive personal finance hobby / podcast to being able to find these class action lawsuits to be able to give that money back to my parents. So thank you very much for getting me into this. And finally, into our other category, potential IRS refund for COVID era penalties. This is expired, but there was some potential refunds for COVID penalties, and it was due by July 10th. Will over at Dr. Credit said sorry for the late notice. They shared it on July 9th. I'm curious to see what anybody got, if anything, but I was not eligible for this. And then finally, the Marriott adds 5 to 10% devaluation to awards bookings. So it stings that it seems like every time I get a bunch of points in a particular hotel brand like Hilton or Marriott, the points get devalued a bit. I haven't even used my Marriott points just yet, so I'm curious to see how they go. But I have like 150,000 Marriott points now, so very nice. All right, it's a shorter episode than usual, but my voice is grateful for it. Thanks always for listening. Happy August, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace, y'all.